Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. At this time, I would like to call our special meeting to order. Roll call, Danielle, please.
Dr. Rios,
Present.
Vice President Mendoza,
Present.
Board Clerk Yu,
Present.
Board Member Dr. Apodaca,
Here.
Board Member Law,
Here.
Board Member Nishi,
Present.
Board Member Say, Board Member Say,
Your mute button.
She was here.
I know, I saw her.
I'm here.
There we go.
Present. Sorry.
thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask Board Member Nishi to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ooh.
Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance.
to the flag
Flag
of the United
of the
States
United States of America.
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it stands,
and
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call on Dr. Sue for the safely reopening of schools, 2020-2021.
Thank you very much, President Rios. I know that on March the 13th this year, our Board of Education authorized me to close or dismiss our schools in ABC Unified School District. Many family members are also encouraging me to close our schools that week. But during these challenging times, the safety and health of our students, families, and staff continue to be our top priorities. Unfortunately, the coronavirus surge is not slowing down in Los Angeles County. The LA County public health officials on Tuesday reported the highest day count of COVID-19 cases and related hospitalizations since the pandemic hit. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has warned that the city of Los Angeles is inching closer to the highest threat level and an imminent shutdown as the coronavirus continue to loom. Younger people now account for the majority of new cases. 58% of the cases are now with our younger majority. Yesterday morning, I was on a call with Dr. Barbara Ferrer, director of the LA Public Health Department. She indicated that reopening schools increases the risks. We must adhere with the public health protocols that was sent to the board yesterday. She also indicated that there are lots of risks with reopening schools. Children can get infected themselves as well as transmit coronavirus to others in their families and friends. Children may be asymptomatic when they are infected. Without symptoms, they can infect others in their home. Dr. Ferrer also indicated that we should be prepared for outbreaks and positive cases of COVID-19 in our schools when we open. On Wednesday, State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurman, said he recognized the health realities that many districts are facing and applauded districts for putting safety first. He said that I do think that if school had to open tomorrow, most of our districts would open with distance learning, and that decision, he said, is a good one. And then finally today, I'm sure many of you were watching Governor Newsom when he announced that as a result of the rising coronavirus infections, that all public and private schools in the California counties on the state's monitoring list, that includes Los Angeles County, will be required to close for in-person instruction and meet strict criteria in order to reopen. This guidance is a marked shift from leaving decisions over closing and reopening schools largely in the hands of our local elected officials. The California Department of Public Health will now play a stronger role in setting the criteria for reopening school facilities. In order to reopen our schools, we will need to have 14 days of a declining number of COVID-19 cases in LA County and not be on the monitoring list. We will also need to meet other criteria that the California Department of Public Health will also be requiring. We are at the height of transmission rates in Los Angeles County. In other counties where there are lower transmission rates, districts have managed to reopen in person. Prior to Governor Newsom's announcement today, of the 80 school districts in Los Angeles County, 75% will be implementing 100% of a distance learning model. Today, I am recommending that in ABC, when we open on August the 24th, it is with our virtual academy only. We presented the virtual academy model last week on July the 7th. We would like to continue the virtual academy as public health conditions allow it or when it's safe to reopen. We will offer both the virtual academy and the hybrid model when we reopen our schools. Families who wish to continue with the virtual academy for the remainder of the school year may do so. While we hope at some point to have our students attend schools alongside their classmates and teachers, we feel now is not the right time. We are in the process of developing a rigorous virtual academy that will allow students to continue their education at home. The virtual academy model will mirror what we offer during our summer school classes that's going on right now with synchronous learning. And synchronous learning means when students, while at home, will attend their virtual classes at a designated time. Instruction is provided live with the teacher visibly teaching and available to support students and respond to students' questions. Similar to a regular school day, students will have specific class times or class periods. So finally, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that this potential impact of this decision may have on families who have or will need to return to work. And we are working on developing childcare options that will be presented at the August 4th board meeting. We all, of course, prefer in-class instruction, but we must do it safely. I know also that today we have a number of people who share their public comments. And I know that it's really up to us to listen to the comments, but I really feel that Governor Newsom's decision to not reopen our schools in person sort of takes away from that decision that we all have to make together collectively. So that's the end of my report, Dr. Rios.
Dr. Rios?
You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you for that. Given the information that was just shared, does anybody want to weigh in on the public comments before we start?
I do.
Go ahead, Maynard. Go ahead, Maynard. Board Member Law.
I feel that most of those comments we've already heard. We don't really have a choice in this matter. I would like to see the comments. I think we did this before the last time around. If we could just get a printout copy of them. If there's somebody who has a real problem with that, I mean, we don't have a choice right now. This is what we're going to do. If we hear from them and they want something else, there's not much we personally, the school district, can do about that. So my opinion is that we should try to cut that back as much as we can. It's Friday afternoon and time to move on. We have much things to do in the future here.
And again, the decision has pretty much been made for us. Dr. Apodaca, you wanted to speak?
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, I did. I'd like to echo what Maynard said by making sure that they are available and posted for the public.
We can post it on the website. as
And I'd like
well.
to share that some of those are shared with board members. So, and so I know I've taken time to read them, with many people who have reached out to me along with other board members. Okay, anybody else want to weigh in on this?
Yes, Dr. Rios, is Ms. Mendoza.
Go ahead.
Dr. Sue, are we legally obligated to since we posted public comments, are we legally obligated to make sure we listen to public comments?
No, we are, because the decision has been made for us from Governor Newsom already.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I asked that question to make our community, make sure they're clear that, you know, we can have the choice to do that. That's it, Dr. Rios, thank you.
Got it. Board member Say, or you, would you like to speak?
Yeah, I think just like board member Letty and the board member Maynard mentioned about it, I just wanted the 1 hour so it doesn't fit our today's special meeting, right? The 1 hour to the public, do not. Just reiterate again one more time.
Board members say we are considering not listening to public comments, given that the decision has been pretty much made for us.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Board clerk, you?
Yes, the things are changing. The pandemic is changing weekly, and the survey was done a month ago, but our last week's study session, of course, even many parents who wanted to send their kids to school came out with the public comments that they don't want to because they're so concerned. And today we get the announcement from Governor Newsom. So I think that our district, I want to thank our district for being prepared either way. And we have to be open and flexible. But I'm very, very pleased to hear that we are going to strengthen our virtual academy. Thank you very much.
Board member, board clerk, your opinion on the comments, public comments?
Yes,
Are you
yes,
okay with-
I agree with everybody. Yes.
Got it. Okay, well, my question, Dr. Sue, would be then, do we need a motion?
Yes, we do for the action item, just to make sure that we are going to be.
No, for the comments.
No, for the comments.
Oh, no, we don't need a motion for that. I'm just looking at the action item to safely reopen school
Got it.
with only the virtual academy.
Got it. Board member Nishi, we haven't heard from you. Did you want to weigh in?
I'm in agreement that we can read the comments. It's not going to change anything, so that's fine. I would like to make my own comment later on, however.
Okay, so then at this time, can I have a motion? Okay, hold on.
Well,
For the
after-
action item to,
After-
yeah, so we're gonna have a motion and then there'll be discussion. Okay, so can I have a motion for action item 7, safely reopening of schools for
I'd like to
2020,
make a motion
2021?
to,
May I have a motion to approve safely reopening schools for the 2020-21, starting with the virtual academy model only?
So move.
Second, Sophia.
Okay, discussion, well, first, let me, discussion. So let me start with Board Vice President Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam President. Dr. Sue, I had a question. What's the difference between virtual academy and versus our OLA? Are we doing both or are we just doing the virtual academy?
Thank you. That's a great question. No, we are actually strengthening our virtual academy. It will be different than our OLA program because our teachers will be expected, and this was something that was brought up in Governor Newsom's announcement today, teachers will be expected to be live in front of the students during the week that we open and successive weeks. And so we are definitely going to be doing that when we reopen our schools starting on August 24th.
Okay, so I know there was guidelines given as to how many minutes for each grade levels. I know there was minutes for, I think, K to second, third to fourth, and for high school. Is our virtual academy following those suggested guidelines of minutes for face-to-face teaching, or are we actually doing more?
That's something that we're going to present in greater detail on August the 4th.
Okay, okay, that's it. That's all my questions. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Board Clerk, you?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I am so glad to hear that there will be teacher and student engagement with live teaching, because the past few months have been extremely difficult for families, many families. And I don't think we're going to have answers right now, but I am concerned about the different needs throughout the district. I know that many parents don't want to send their kids to school, and they would be very glad to hear that we're going to do 100% virtual. But I'm also concerned about some families whose parents are both working and they live paycheck to paycheck. And if they need some childcare or supervision, what can be done, right, in some of the areas. So I would like our district to take a look at that. And I know we have some extra COVID funding to help these group of students, in this group. And another concern I have is, how about if some teachers actually want to do virtual teaching, come to school and do it in the classrooms, in their own classrooms, without anybody there? Would that be an option?
We actually discussed this in our EOC meeting today about teachers being on campus.
Yes, because if that is possible and if it's very safe, that would also be productive for some people. You have more resources, better technology and camera, and just familiarity with your classroom, and you can be focused and have some collaboration with other faculty and principals there. So there's that support. So that's just one of the concern. And thank you. I'm glad to hear the live virtual. That will be very, very encouraging to the families as well as the students to see their teachers live. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Dr. Apodaca.
Thank you, Madam President. Two things I'd like to be addressed, I believe, that are important for the public. Although it might seem like we don't have much of a say because of the governor shooting this down or sending it down, trickling it down to the rest of us, I also want to give the public reassurance, though. So with regards to our teachers, and I know it sounds like from the briefing with the governor that he is going to be making billions of dollars available. I want to make sure that we're very vocal in our support for our teachers and collaborating with our labor groups to make sure that we're not just handing something down to them, that we do collaborate, we do speak to leadership, and that we work together, not just to keep things kind of going, but also to minimize learning loss, empower our students, empower our teachers, so that way we can really have the best possible experience for them. So there's that. So I want to express my strong support for ABCFT and for our labor groups and working together. And then also I wanted to ask about the virtual academy for dual immersion and what the option will be for them, since I know that it's the succession of year after year with the immersion curriculum. If we could get some public guidance or clarification for those parents who have their students enrolled in dual immersion programs. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Law.
Thank you. A couple small comments, probably later on in the next month. But how do we handle the substitutes when we're doing virtual academy? Are they all trained for everything, or we just take our chances? That's the first one. I see Dr. Sue shaking her head, but I don't know what the answer was.
Well, we are, as you all know, I meet with our cabinet members in an EOC meeting every day for over 2 hours every day. And we discussed this very item today, and how will the substitute or long-term subs going to be used? And we did talk about that. But we will plan to, again, just fully flesh out more of the details of our virtual academy that may include the dual language immersion program as well at the August 4th board meeting.
Thank you. One more, and I'm sure it's along the same lines. When we saw the basically the secondary virtual classrooms last time around, there were 2 periods, 7 and 8, that were left there. And I'm not sure whether those are for study groups, or are they for to use for additional electives? What is the purpose of those 2 periods, 7 and period 8? I know we'll talk about it later on.
Definitely. We will talk about it at the next board meeting.
That's all I need to know. I knew you would, so.
Hey, Board Member Nishi?
I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to be very articulate here because I've been thinking about this meeting for nights. Like, it's been keeping me up. It's, you know, whether it's August 4th or August 24th or even later, I just don't see this getting better right now. So it's not, you know, I would have wanted to give the parents the right to choose, the right to make their own decisions, but it's not declining. And at the rate that we're at right now, it's just, and I know that, you know, it's not just the virus that kills, everything else kills. Isolation will kill us because we are meant to be with people. And I don't blame the governor for making his decision, or the county, or even our president. You know, it's our nature to want freedom, to hug and to do these things. And we're telling people to go against their nature, to stay at home and don't meet any of your friends at all. You know, I'm telling my daughter not to go out with any of her friends. And it's just, I'm just so sorry for this. It just, you know, we're sorry to the teachers that wanted to go hybrid, and we're not taking that decision away. The governor did that, but you know, the students and the people who have to work and don't have all the resources that everybody else has, it's going to be really challenging. And we're really experimenting with our kids with this boundary, this type of learning. These social clubs are going to have to be totally different. Passions are going to be different. I don't really have any questions. I would have liked to see what some of those, if any of the comments had anything to do with how we're going to address some of the issues. I know they will probably all say the same thing, that they're going to be all online, but it'd be nice if if there was some information as to how we're going online in some of those comments. I don't know if we could have a few of those, but in any event, I'm glad at least we have the resources from the bond, right? So the original, I remember when we were knocking on those doors saying, hey, let's get some money for safety. I had no idea safety would also encompass, I know I was thinking it was going to be shooters. I didn't think it was going to be tiny little viral invaders that were going to get us. But, you know, at least we have those resources. We have some federal funds. We have a strong teaching base, and you know, it's not what I really want, but we're here today, and we'll try to make the best of it. I think our kids will adapt. They'll be like grass in a hurricane, and they'll change. And our kids will get through it. I know it. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I wish I could do something different. I wish I could do something different for the frontline parents that are out there. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for listening. And I can send to whoever parents are out there listening, I am so sorry. There's just no alternative right now. Maybe we can do something different and as soon as we possibly can, 14 weeks. But also, you know, there's one other thing I wanted to say is that, you know, I was thinking, well, what if there's a virus and we have to do something, and how are we going to respond? And I realized the problem is that if there's a virus on campus and there's a high probability that the virus is going to be on campus, it's just going to disrupt everything, and they have to get back to it, and they have to and then if there's another one, they have to disrupt that, and it's going to come back to that, and the focus will be on the virus. So, so that wouldn't have been the focus. The focus would have been changed, and so I think that's why the governor had to make the decision. So anyway, that's it. If Dr. Sue, are there any comments that don't go to the issue of closing, but go to the issue of how we're going to go about teaching, or suggestions and things like that? I know we're going to read it later on, but other people, sometimes if we hear it publicly, other people will also hear it, and then they'll have more ideas to how to do this better. We'll have 20,000 students thinking of how we can do it better.
I know.
So it's amazing, that brain, right?
I
So-
know that Scott Smith has read almost all the public comments. I'm going to have to defer to Scott to see if he can answer your question.
Maybe just a few, you know, it's,
Didn't we
If-
vote not to do this?
We agreed, yes, thank you. We agreed to not do that, but
All
I
right,
do
that's
appreciate
fine.
your concern, Board Member Nishii. And yes, I definitely would like maybe if Scott could summarize it and
Yes.
we can read those maybe at the August 4th meeting, which I'm pretty sure the community will be more than happy to weigh in.
Yes.
and it'll be public, so I get
And it will
that.
be public, yes.
All
Okay,
right.
Board Member, was that it, Board Member Nishii?
That's it.
Okay, Board Member Say?
Thank you, Board President. You know what, I really want to just mention a couple of things I want parents to understand to the public who are watching us right now. We have no choice tonight, and we do our best we can. And the last week we say we want to do both, but today we can't. And our staff, our purchase department, our nurses really was panicking. They were buying all the necessary safety equipment, but this week we changed. It's not under our choice yet. And we are facing this uncertain time with the deadly COVID-19 virus. Believe me, with some background with that, I am afraid our life, our health are at risk. I am afraid. I am afraid for the staff, their health and safety. I am afraid our children. But going to online, I'm afraid about some of the students from low socioeconomic status with the food security issue. Hungry. If we go online, how are we going to do better service for this coming year? This is a lot of things going on. I want to thank you, Dr. Su, you and the administrator team, and our union president, Ray, and the union staff for all their hard work in the past. And we all have tried our best already. But maybe this effort has not given us the results that we need. But however, let's continue to do our best of this coming year. And I think Dr. Su, you're going to talk about later on. The couple issues I'm concerned is the staffing ratio, especially for K-2. Those age group, how are we going to handle them? Are we still have the same staffing ratio on online education? You're probably going to talk about it, but I have concern. What about the physical needs? What about the mental health? I will cover that into our new so-called virtual academic, and we need to look into really carefully. Once again, I want to thank you all. I want to thank you, our staff. I thank you, administrator. You're working so hard. And the change is not because we are not able to make a decision. It's really based on the government, and we're under their guideline. We cannot avoid that. And thank you, parents. And I am here for you, and I'm ready to hear from you. You all have our number. You have our email on website. Please contact us if you need to talk to someone. We are here for you. Thank you, President.
You're muted.
My goodness, the perils of online programming. At this time, I'd like to call for a vote. Roll call, please, Danielle.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Law,
Yes.
Mrs. Mendoza,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. I want to reiterate to the public that, again, this decision was a result of careful consideration. As you heard, it wasn't an easy one for any of us, but it's also based on the latest information provided by our governor. And it's a decision that is guided by science and by data. ABC will continue to work diligently to provide meaningful instruction through distance learning. We know students are best served at school and in person. That is no longer an option at this time, given the alarming spike in numbers of COVID cases. And I will borrow the words of our governor. He said, learning is a non-negotiable, but neither is safety. We are all aware of the strain this puts on families and the precarious situation for our most vulnerable students. We trust our staff to put together the necessary elements for an outstanding program. We heard much feedback from our community about the online experience so far. This program will be different. It will be rigorous and it will be effective. We cannot afford to lose ground on the many accomplishments of our students and exemplary schools. We are prepared to take on the challenge. We are working and will continue to work to address the issues of equity that will surely affect some of our students, as well as the social emotional needs of our entire ABC community. I want to remind our community that there is a way back. It requires we all are mindful of the suggestions made by the LA County Department of Health. Wear a mask when out in public spaces, wash your hands often, practice physical distancing. And in closing, I want to acknowledge our board for being so courageous. These are not easy choices. Our superintendent for working so diligently with her staff, our teachers, our students, and of course our families. We absolutely will persevere and continue to face the challenges head on. We are ABC. We really are all in this together. Have a great and safe weekend. With that, can I have a motion to adjourn our meeting, please?
So moved.
Dr. Olga, can I have one question, Dr. Olga? Dr. Olga?
Right now, we're accepting a motion to end the meeting, Sophia.
No, I have one question about it. I want the public to understand. We are posting comments, so we're not violating the Brown Act. Because a lot of times that people consider Brown Act as a transparency, people should have voice to, they have a voice. But
Our
I just
board,
want the public to understand that. We are covered, we'll post it.
Yes, we will.
thank you,
post
and
all
it was
comments.
clarified that we are not doing anything that's not legally binding.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, Mendoza.
Roll call,
Second,
please.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Law,
Yes.
Mrs. Mendoza,
Yes.
Mr. Nishi,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
yes?
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, thank you all. Enjoy your day and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Meeting is
so much.
adjourned.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.